Have you ever had one of those moments where your cat seems totally fine, calm, quiet, normal, then suddenly they start hiding more, avoiding you, or acting off for no clear reason, and you're left thinking, what did I even do? Here's the truth most people don't realize. Cats don't always show stress the way we expect. They can look perfectly okay on the outside, while feeling emotionally confused on the inside. And a lot of the time, it's not because you're a bad owner. It's because you're doing small, everyday things that send mixed signals without knowing it. In this video, I'm going to show you 9 common habits that quietly confuse your cat's emotional world, plus what to do instead so your cat feels safe, understands you better, and chooses to stay close again. Number 9. You're gentle 1 minute, then suddenly too intense. One of the biggest emotional stressors for cats is inconsistency in affection. You might call your cat over gently, rub their head, and speak softly, and everything feels warm and safe. But then, without realizing it, you pick them up, squeeze them, rub their belly, or keep petting even when their body starts to tighten. From your perspective, you're showing love, but to your cat, the emotional message becomes confusing because they learn that affection feels good until it doesn't, and they can't predict when it will switch. This uncertainty makes them cautious around closeness, not because they hate you, but because they don't feel emotionally in control. The best fix is to let your cat control the intensity by petting for shorter moments, pausing often, and watching body language like tail movement, shoulder tension, and sudden stillness. When your cat learns they can leave whenever they want without being chased, they actually start choosing closeness more often because affection becomes safe again. Number 8. You call them over, then do something they dislike. This is one of the fastest ways to confuse your cat's trust without meaning to. You use a sweet voice, your cat finally walks over, and the second they arrive, you do something unpleasant like trimming nails, wiping paws, giving medicine, or putting them into a carrier. Even if it's necessary care, your cat starts associating your invitation with a trap, and that creates emotional conflict because they want to trust you, but their memory tells them to hesitate. Over time, this is why some cats stop responding to their name or avoid approaching when you call them. A better approach is to separate bonding moments from care moments. If you need to do something uncomfortable, approach calmly and neutrally without luring them with affection first. And when you do call your cat over, reward it with something positive like gentle words, a quick treat, or a short play moment so your cat relearns that coming to you usually ends in safety. And if you've ever accidentally done this without realizing, hit the like button, because you're not alone, and these small fixes can completely change how your cat trusts you. Number 7. You stare into their eyes like a human, not like a cat. Humans use eye contact to show love and attention, but cats interpret direct staring as pressure, intensity, or even a challenge. So when you stare at your cat because they're cute, your cat may feel emotionally unsure even if they still love you, because the signal your face is sending doesn't match what they expect from a safe companion. This is why some cats squint, look away, or walk off when someone keeps watching them too closely. The easiest fix is to soften your gaze and blink slowly, because slow blinking is the feline version of emotional safety. When you look away occasionally and keep your energy calm, your cat feels less watched and more respected, and that makes them far more likely to stay near you voluntarily. Number 6. You change their routine without realizing it affects their emotions. Cats don't love routine because they're boring. They love it because routine creates emotional certainty. When feeding time becomes unpredictable, play becomes random, your schedule changes suddenly, or the little daily patterns disappear, your cat starts living in a quiet state of uncertainty where they don't know what to expect next. Even harmless change can be stressful because cats rely on predictability to feel safe. You don't need to live like a robot, but you do need a few anchors, like consistent feeding windows, a short play session at the same time most days, and a calm bedtime pattern. Those anchors act like emotional landmarks for your cat, so even if the rest of life is busy, your cat stays stable, confident, and less easily overwhelmed. Number 5. You speak sweetly, then react sharply when something goes wrong. Cats don't only respond to what you say, they respond to the emotional energy behind it. Many people talk to their cat in a warm, high-pitched voice, which encourages the cat to feel safe and approach. But then when the cat does something inconvenient, the tone changes instantly and the energy becomes sharp, tense, and unpredictable. To a cat, that sudden emotional shift feels confusing because they can't tell when the environment is about to change, and they start becoming more cautious around interaction even if they still want connection. The fix is emotional stability. If you need to redirect your cat, do it calmly and consistently, without sudden loud reactions, because the calmer your energy is, the easier it is for your cat to stay regulated too, and the relationship becomes emotionally clear instead of emotionally confusing. Number 4. You force cuddles when your cat is in solo mode. Cats have social energy, but they also have solo energy, and those two modes can switch quickly. Sometimes your cat wants closeness, sometimes they want to be near you without being touched, and sometimes touch feels like pressure even if they like you. When humans keep pushing affection in the wrong moment, the cat becomes emotionally conflicted because they want to trust you but feel overstimulated at the same time. That's where you get confusing behavior like purring and then biting, approaching, and then suddenly running away, or acting affectionate, but looking tense. The solution is to read the body, not the moment. If your cat's ears start turning back, their tail flicks, their skin twitches, or their posture stiffens, that's your warning that they're reaching their emotional limit. Stop early, and you prevent the reaction before it happens, which builds trust long term. Number 3. You pet the wrong spot and assume your cat is being moody. Cats can be extremely specific about touch, and their preferences vary a lot from one cat to another. Some love cheek rubs and chin scratches, some hate their lower back being touched, some dislike belly contact, and some feel stressed when hands move too fast or too repeatedly. When a human keeps touching a sensitive area, the cat doesn't become moody, they become uncertain, because affection starts to feel unpredictable and uncomfortable. Over time, your cat may avoid petting altogether, not because they don't love you, but because touch stopped feeling emotionally safe. The best fix is to start with safe zones like cheeks, forehead, behind the ears, and under the chin. Then pause often and let your cat guide the interaction. When your cat feels in control of touch, affection becomes something they seek out instead of something they tolerate. Number 2. You punish communication instead of listening to it. Cats don't have many ways to communicate discomfort politely, so they rely on small signals first, like leaning away, freezing, flicking the tail, flattening the ears, or giving a stiff look. If those subtle signals get ignored, a cat may escalate to a swat, a growl, or a bite, not because they're bad, but because they ran out of gentler options. When humans punish the escalation, the cat learns a dangerous lesson that communication is unsafe, and instead of expressing discomfort early, they start holding it in until they explode later, which is when they seem unpredictable. The healthier approach is to respect early signals. If your cat pulls away or stiffens, pause, stop, and let them reset without chasing them, because when a cat learns their small communication works, they don't need big reactions to be heard. Number 1. You bring unfamiliar scents home and don't notice how much it matters. Your cat's emotional world is heavily built on scent familiarity, so when you come home smelling like another animal, a new perfume, a different detergent, or even strong home fragrance, your cat can act distant or strange because you look like their person, but you don't smell like their person. That mismatch creates emotional uncertainty, and some cats will sniff intensely, avoid closeness, or watch you cautiously for a while. The fix is simple and gentle. Give your cat time, don't force contact, wash your hands, and let your cat approach first so they can rebuild familiarity at their own pace. Once the scent map feels normal again, your cat's behavior usually softens naturally. If you recognize yourself in a few of these habits, don't feel guilty. Most cat owners confuse their cat emotionally without meaning to, because human love is expressive and intense, while cat love is subtle and controlled. But once you start giving your cat emotional clarity, the bond changes quickly. Your cat becomes softer, more secure, and more affectionate, not because you forced love, but because you removed confusion. And for a cat, that sense of safety is everything.